Before I get into today's video, let me first say this. If Man City win the Champions League this season, I'm dyeing my entire beard blue. And I know some of you guys might be saying, ha ha ha, good joke, it's not gonna happen, so yeah, we won't be seeing you with that blue beard. But guys, I think this is our year. I really think this is our year, especially what we did against Atalanta today. And I know some of you guys might be saying it's only Atalanta, but guys, I think we mean business. We mean business. Despite not having any center backs and we are doing this to teams, we mean business. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dominic Rich, and as you can tell from the title, I'll be doing a recap of the Champions League matches that were played on October 22nd, 2019. We had matches from groups A to D. Also, guys, if you're interested in copying one of these cards, visit cardsplug.com/dominicrichfc and use the coupon code dominicrichfc to get yourself not 5, not 10, but 15% off your order, guys. The holidays are just around the corner and birthdays come every single day. So guys, do yourself a favor and hook your wall up with one of these. You won't regret it. So let's first start with Group A, where Galatasaray took on Real Madrid and Club Brugge took on PSG. This was basically a clash between the heavyweights and the underdogs. And I know we all love an underdog story, but the underdogs were defeated today. Let's first start with the game between Galatasaray and Real Madrid, where Real Madrid came out 1-0 victors. Real Madrid's only goal was scored by Toni Kroos in the 18th minute, which was brilliantly set up by Eden Hazard. And when you take a close look at that shot, if the defender did not stick out his leg to try to block that ball, it would have been a comfortable block by the other defender or by the diving goalkeeper Muslera. So Galatasaray were basically the architects of their own demise because they had numerous amount of chances and failed to put them away. Florin and Don. If you can't make it at Brighton, you think you're gonna make it at Galatasaray playing in the Champions League? This guy can't even finish his breakfast. Yunus Belhanda had another brilliant chance to score, which he fluffed, and Eden Hazard hit the crossbar. In my opinion, Real Madrid did not deserve to win this game. I think Galatasaray, if they were more clinical, they could have punished Los Blancos, and Zidane would have been under way more pressure than he currently is. Well, some may argue that he's not under pressure. They're doing okay in La Liga despite losing that game on the weekend against Mallorca, but in the Champions League, they haven't started out well at all. Remember, they lost on Matchday 1 to PSG and then drew at home to Club Brugge. So they needed to come up with a response, and they surely did with a big 3 points. Despite coming under heavy criticism in the earlier games, we must give praise to Thibaut Courtois, who was brilliant on the day. Let's give credit when credit is due. This was also Toni Kroos' 100th game in the Champions League, which he capped off nicely with a match-winning goal. With the well-needed 3 points, Real Madrid go up to second on 4 points. And the way that they're playing right now, it doesn't have the look of a team that won 4 of the last 6 Champions League titles. As for Galatasaray, with this loss, they stay at the bottom of the table on 1 point. They did have some brilliant moments in the game. I really enjoy when Ryan Babel sent Valverde flying in one direction and almost set up the goal, but all in all, they weren't good. For all the Champions League Matchday 3 fixtures, we will see the reverse leg on Matchday 4, so do keep that in mind. In the other Group A fixture, PSG continued their great form by decimating Club Brugge 5-0. Yes, you heard it right. This included a brilliant hat-trick by the young phenom Kylian Mbappe. Guys like Icardi, who chipped in with a brace, Angel Di Maria and Marco Verratti were brilliant on the day. But despite that Kylian Mbappe hat-trick, I have to give the man of the match to Angel Di Maria. The man was just simply brilliant on the day, and he was giving us glimpses of when he used to play for Real Madrid just before he moved to Man United, and then, you know, he kind of lost a bit of sheen. He's given us basically a glimpse of the past, and I love it. I'm really loving it. He's a bit more consistent these days than he were like the last few years. I didn't actually watch this game, but while watching the highlights reel, I did not see a single attack by Club Brugge. Not one. And the reason for that is Club Brugge did get 8 shots off at goal, but not a single shot was on target. As for PSG, they had 13 shots at goal, with 8 of those shots on target. 5 finding the back of the net. Those were some scintillating goals scored by Kylian Mbappe and Mauro Icardi. I do think Mauro Icardi should try to make this PSG move permanent because he is in a groove right now and you won't want to disrupt that by going back to Inter where you're not really needed. As for Kylian Mbappe, it's going to take an arm and a leg to lure this guy away from PSG. Like, it's going to be really expensive. Matter of fact, I said an arm and a leg. It's going to cost a whole body to get PSG to sell Kylian Mbappe. Guys, he could be actually the first 300 million euro player if he's ever sold. Like, he is that good. After setting Matchday 3 ablaze, Thomas Tuchel's PSG are currently on top of the table on 9 points. A perfect score for the boys from Paris. And they have been doing all this without the services of Edinson Cavani and Neymar Jr. So, round of applause to PSG, man. Could this finally be their year to win the Champions League? I think not. It's our year. Man City's year. And I know some of you guys might be saying like, oh, you talking about Man City, but you're wearing a Juventus jersey. Guys, it's a show. Come on, I gotta look fresh. Gotta look fresh. Come on, man. Respect the drip. So with that loss, Club Brugge breaks their unbeaten streak and are currently third in the group on 2 points. So that's it for Group A, and I definitely can't wait till Real Madrid and PSG meet again. I would love for them to meet when Neymar is back, Cavani is back, but maybe Neymar won't be back because he's always injured, you know. So let's move on to Group B, where Olympiacos hosted Bayern Munich and Tottenham Hotspur played host to Red Star Belgrade or Crvena Zvezda. In Bayern Munich's last Champions League game, they completely smashed, decimated, demolished Tottenham Hotspur 7-2. While for Olympiacos, they had a meltdown in Serbia and lost that game 3-1. As we all know, it's not an easy task to travel to Greece and pick up a result because those stadiums are fortresses. But Bayern Munich did just that today and defeated Olympiacos 3-2. This was a come from behind victory for Bayern Munich after El Arabi put Olympiacos up early in the 23rd minute. But going behind seemingly brought the best out of Bayern Munich because they caught fire. Lewandowski scored a rebound in the 34th minute and then he was set up by Thomas Muller in the 62nd. Corentin Tolisso came off the bench to score a world-class goal, and at 3-1 with 15 minutes to go, Guilherme's 79th-minute strike wasn't enough to earn Olympiacos a draw. So despite taking the lead in this game, Olympiacos couldn't hold on for very long. But I like what they did against Tottenham Hotspur and they came back from behind. They had a meltdown against Red Star Belgrade and now they were basically, outplayed by Bayern Munich. I think Olympiacos, it's fair to say that you guys, you and Red Star are getting knocked out. With that win, Bayern maintain a perfect record in the group, 3 wins in 3 on top of the table on 9 points. As for Olympiacos, they are currently at the bottom of the table on 1 point after 3 games. As for the other fixture, Tottenham Hotspur played host to Crvena Zvezda, where they picked up a well-needed 5-0 win. Tottenham needed this win like a man walking through the desert needs water. I know that's kind of cliche, but that's how bad they needed this win because they haven't been good in the league, and after that 7-2 smashing against Bayern Munich, like come on, this will be a morale booster for Spurs. Their goals came courtesy of Heung-min Son with a brace, Harry Kane with a brace, and Eric Lamela with a brilliant goal set up by Serge Aurier. This goal by Eric Lamela capped off his 200th appearance for Tottenham Hotspur. Round of applause to the big man. It's nice to see him turning out for Spurs after having such a long injury layoff. Tottenham Hotspur could have definitely scored more goals. I must say that Red Star Belgrade were quite poor in this game. They were giving away the balls way too easy. I could recall that giveaway from Marco Marin that led to one of those goals, and they didn't have a lot of chances to score either. So I must commend Tottenham Hotspur for just coming out, playing football, enjoying the game, and picking up a big win. This would do their confidence a whole lot of good, and Pochettino really needed this win. Could this win spark a turnaround in their fortunes going forward? It just might. Because they haven't been good. They have been in somewhat of a crisis, and to climb out of this very dark place that they are in right now, this win will be a step in the right direction. But then again, I did not really expect a different result because Red Star Belgrade doesn't really travel that well. And whenever they lose games, their fans never really come out to watch videos and stuff. So You know, they are quintessential backyard bullies. That's what you call them. Backyard bullies. So with this win, Tottenham Hotspur goes second in the group on 4 points, albeit them being 5 points behind Bayern Munich. They have some catching up to do, and knowing Spurs, they do better in the second half of the group phase like they did last season. So look out for them Spurs. But despite Crvena's Zvezda losing this game, they're still 1 point behind Tottenham in third position on 3 points. So there's still a lot to play for in Group B. So now let's move on to Group C, where my team Manchester City played host to Atalanta, while Shakhtar Donetsk played host to Dinamo Zagreb. In the game between Shakhtar Donetsk and Dinamo Zagreb, it ended in a fitting 2-2 draw. And when I say fitting, I mean both teams played well. Both teams created a lot of chances. It was quite an open game. But Dinamo would walk away from this fixture feeling that they should have won, since they created the better chances and hit the post twice. Shakhtar Donetsk drew first blood in this game when they scored in the 16th minute courtesy of Yevhen Konoplyanka. And interestingly, this was actually his first Champions League goal in 4 years. And if you know your football, you would know that he scored those goals while playing for Sevilla. Dani Olmo did equalize for Dinamo in the 25th minute, and Mislav Orsic put them in the lead in the 60th minute when he scored from the penalty spot. That goal came about after the Shakhtar Donetsk goalkeeper Andrei Piatov stupidly brought down the Dinamo Zagreb player in the box. Like, what was he even thinking? Like, we're in the age of VAR. You think you're gonna get away with things like that? Stupid. But Dinamo Zagreb wasn't in the lead for that long. In the 75th minute, the substitute Dodo equalized after a brilliant pass by Tyson. With this draw, both teams will be ruined the fact that they failed to take a brilliant opportunity to go 3 points ahead in second. With that said, Shakhtar Donetsk are currently second on 4 points, while Dinamo Zagreb are third, also on 4 points. So this one looks like it's gonna be a very close race to the finish. Who are you gonna put your money on, guys? Shakhtar Donetsk or Dinamo Zagreb? I think I'm gonna put my money on Dinamo Zagreb because they seem to play a lot better at home. They're also what you call a backyard bully. Up next is the fixture between my team Manchester City and Atalanta. 5-1 was the result. This was a come from behind victory, believe it or not. And I know when Atalanta scored first to Malinowski, a lot of people thought that we were going to actually lose this game. But surprise, 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 we won the game despite not starting a single center back. 5-1, man. 5-1. What a performance from Manchester City. Quite impressed. But guys, we have to do a lot better when we meet the better teams. We can't keep bullying these smaller teams like Shakhtar, Dinamo, Atalanta, and when we meet the Real Madrids, the Liverpools, the Barcelonas, the Bayern Munichs, the Juventuses, the Atlético Madrids, the Tottenham Hotspurs, we flunk out. We can't keep doing that. The game's first goal was scored by Atalanta in the 28th minute when Malinowski converted from the penalty spot. This penalty came about after Fernandinho brought down Josip Ilicic in the box. Well, he didn't do it on purpose. He was just outfoxed, and he is not a natural center back. So, well, then again, a natural center back would have still brought down Ilicic. But I wasn't even mad that we conceded that goal because I knew we had it within us to come back. And I'm saying that despite us losing our Premier League matches after we went behind in the game. So it was a really good effort from the boys to come back from behind today to defeat Atalanta. And I mean, it was a world-class performance. It was exquisite. It was a decimation, basically. Man City's goals were scored in the 34th minute when Sergio Aguero headed in across from Raheem Sterling. 4 minutes later, he converted from the spot after Raheem Sterling was fouled in the box. So it was basically a Raheem Sterling show. He followed up in the second half by scoring a 10-minute hat-trick. It was a world-class performance from the former Liverpool man. And I'm just throwing that in there to piss off the Liverpool fans who are still mad that Raheem Sterling left them for Manchester City. We scored 5 goals on the day, but it could have been more. Golini pulled off a few big saves, and we missed a few sitters. I could remember Raheem Sterling one-on-one with the goalkeeper and he bent it outside the far post. So we have to be a bit more clinical going forward. I would have loved to see a 7-1 outcome in this game. Like, come on, you can't feel sorry for these teams at all. When you start feeling sorry is when they come back and they beat you and embarrass you and all the other English teams start laughing at you saying you lose to Atalanta. But Atalanta isn't a bad team at all. They have been doing quite well in the Serie A. They placed third last season, and I think they're currently third in the league. But they were definitely missing their talisman, Duvan Zapata, on the day. If he was in this team, it would have maybe, who knows, be a different outcome. But he picked up an injury while on international duty for Colombia. But I must commend Pep Guardiola for being brave in this game. He started with Edison, Fernandinho, and Rodri at the back. I'm telling you, we had no center backs. We started with two midfielders in the back. And while we're on the topics of our makeshift center backs, it was really sad to see Rodri hop off with a hamstring injury today. I really hope that it's nothing serious and it's not going to keep him out of the Liverpool fixture, because I need Rodri fit and ready for Liverpool. We have to win that game. Kyle Walker came back into the team and he put out a very spirited performance on the day. And at left back, Benjamin Mendy, fit again, put in another very good shift. Fun fact for you guys, we are yet to lose when Benjamin Mendy plays. So we have to keep him fit and we have to get him in the team every single game. And we are going to win the Champions League if that happens. We are going to win our third Premier League title in a row. Believe it. Just keep Mendy fit and it'll be all good. Further up the field, Gundogan in the number 6 position was brilliant on the day. He was quite impressive. It was one of those games when I was like, oh yeah, Gundogan, you're really good, you know. But he only seemed to pop up in Champions League games. I don't know what happened when he plays in the league, but whenever he's playing in the Champions League, man, the man shines. In the more attacking positions, Kevin De Bruyne was his usual self today. He was quite good. And alongside him was our 19-year-old wonder kid, Phil Foden. He had a very good game, but he later got sent off after picking up a second yellow. But it will be a learning experience for the young man, so I'm not really mad at him. He was very impressive on the night, and it's very good to see that Pep Guardiola is putting more trust in the young man. In the forward positions, Riyad Mahrez was his brilliant self today. Sergio Aguero, another good shift. And Raheem Sterling on the left-hand side with another world-class performance. Hat-trick on the day, an assist, and he was brought down for the penalty. So Raheem Sterling, man, if you continue like this, you will definitely win next season's Ballon d'Or for sure. I know some of you guys are going to be laughing at that, but Raheem Sterling, man, if you put away every single chance that you get, you would rack up Messi numbers by the time the season ends. So come on, man, come on. Please do yourself a favor and score these easy-ass goals. So round of applause to my team, man. Big performance, 5 goals to 1, currently on top of the table. Perfect score, 9 points. As for Atalanta, they are currently at the bottom of the table, yet to pick up a single point in the debut Champions League season. So in conclusion, it seems like Man City are gonna definitely go on to top this group with a perfect 18 points. As for second and third, fourth, guys, you all could scrap it out. Shakhtar, Dinamo, and Atalanta, you guys could scrap it out for those positions. I'm just concerned about City right now because this is our year to win the Champions League, and I truly believe it. I stand firm by that. I want to dye my entire beard blue. Only the beard though. Not up here, just the beard. So now let's move on to the final group, Group D, where we had matches between Atlético Madrid and Bayer Leverkusen, and another one between Juventus and Lokomotiv Moscow. In the match between Atlético Madrid and Bayer Leverkusen, the Rojiblancos came out 1-0 winners. This came courtesy of a 78-minute header scored by substitute Alvaro Morata. And we definitely have to give Simeone some credit for that. He brought Alvaro Morata off the bench and boom, results. I must also say that I'm very disappointed in this Bayer Leverkusen team. I have one single word to sum up their performances so far: tame. Atletico's wonder kid João Felix was missing from this game through injury, and Jose Maria Jimenez also had to limp off injured. With this win, Atlético Madrid are now on top of the table on 7 points. As for Bayer Leverkusen, they continue their horrid run, currently at the bottom of the group, yet to pick up a single point. As for the next match between Juventus and Lokomotiv Moscow, the old lady picked up a brilliant come-from-behind victory to snatch all 3 points. Alexei Miranchuk scored first for Lokomotiv in the 30th minute. This goal came after a brilliant breakaway which had had the Juventus defenders twisting and turning. I'm talking about De Ligt and Bonucci. Well, De Ligt hasn't looked so great since he went to Juventus though. And Bonucci has not been that good since he came back from AC Milan. Kind of suspect there, but After holding off Juve for 47 minutes, Lokomotiv's defense finally cracked. Two brilliant goals scored by Mbappe Dybala in the space of 2 minutes saved Juventus from a potential upset. With this win, Juventus are now second in the group on 7 points. As for Lokomotiv Moscow, they are currently third on 3 points. Guys, I didn't get to watch the full match, but it's nice to see Mbappe Dybala amongst the goals once again, and it's a lovely thing to see Maurizio Sarri celebrating on the touchline. Cristiano Ronaldo failed to score. Higuain looked good coming off the bench. Alex Sancho and Juan Cuadrado, along with Miralem Pjanic, looked good on the day. It was a good performance by the old lady. But as I say, quality always prevails in the end. So guys, that's my recap of the Champions League Matchday 3 fixtures that were played on Tuesday, October the 22nd. If you're new around here, consider hitting the subscribe button, smash the thumbs up button, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like, share some more insight on these games because I did not watch all of these fixtures. I actually got to watch 2 matches without interruption. The Man City versus Atalanta game and the Real Madrid Galatasaray fixture. Also guys, don't forget to visit cardsplug.com/dominicrichfc. A link would be in the description box down below. Use the coupon code dominicrichfc to get yourself 15% off your order. Thanks for watching the video again, and until next time, peace out. Rich Squad.